Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, your podcast host and podcast coach. Great to be with you here. If you're new watching IFWL, well, why not grab your smartphone, launch the camera app, point over the QR code like so, touch the yellow lips. You'll get my link tree in just a second or two. If you're not watching me, but you are listening only, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Whether you're here at 8:45 at night, 8:45 in the morning, 12 noon, 12 midnight, 4 a.m., 4 p.m., potato, I really appreciate you being here and being part of Inspirations for Your Life's broadcasts. So let's get right into the master topic, shall we? Here it is, everyone. What part of your brain controls motivation? Now, we started talking about this a few days ago, but let's get a little deeper into what I mean. So we started talking about the brain parts. Now let's get into motivation and promise settings. So I'm not talking about motivation and goals because people that set goals really, well, they miss goals. And then if they don't make it, they're like, I just set a goal, so it's no big deal. I'll just, set another one. It's no big deal. They blow it off like it's nothing. And I think that's a serious, serious, serious problem. And so I want to tell you that it's important to understand that it should be a promise. So a motivation and promise setting, learning that your brain processes and regulates motivation to help you conquer. Now, a lot of people will say goals, but really it is promises. Yes, it is promises. So the formation and pursuit of the promises are closely linked to a motivational process. And how we respond every day has a lot to do with how we were raised, our own ideals, but really it has to do with what we tell ourselves. What's the language that we tell ourselves every single day? And if you're saying, hey, John, I don't know what I tell myself. Well, then I would tell you got to figure that out, because if you don't know what you tell yourself, then that could be a serious, serious problem. And by a serious problem, I mean that it could take you and it actually could derail you. Yeah, it could derail you right off the track. And you might be saying, John, well, how is that possible? Well, it's possible because if you knew that you had to go one direction and all of a sudden you couldn't go that direction anymore, then I find it will be a problem for you. So let's talk about the fact that your motivation, okay, can be greatly affected by the promises that you make to yourself. I didn't say goals, I said promises. A promise is more serious than a goal. That's how I like to think about it. Goals are there, they're lofty, they're nice, but we don't always achieve them, right? We want to hit that grand slam, but a lot of times it's like, I tried. I couldn't get on first base. I tried to pitch. I tried to get him out. I really tried. But, my arm hurt, my back hurt, my leg hurt, or I just couldn't make the play, or whatever, all these excuses. So when we do a promise, there is no more room for excuses. I mean, I think that is the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. There is no room for excuses. That's the truth of the matter. All right. That is absolutely the truth of the matter. And motivation, okay, is very, very key. It's very key because when we know how to get motivated, we have this, we have this different demeanor inside ourselves. One that anything is possible. I didn't say impossible, I said possible. Now, that might sound crazy, but it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. It absolutely is the truth. So if you're wondering why you're not doing something, why you're not achieving something, we got to start sitting back and realizing, how does that brain actually function? Okay. How does that work? How does it regulate our motivation and help us conquer your promises? Because a promise is something that is like an internal contract you make with yourself. A goal is like, all right, it'd be nice to do that. Yeah, I'll try to do that. But if it gets too difficult, well, then I might just not do that or try to do that anymore. I think that's the major thing I'm saying to you is that set promises in life, because when you set promises, magic happens. And by magic, I mean that you have the potential to basically achieve your dreams. That's right. I said you have the potential to achieve your dreams. But a lot of people don't achieve their dreams. And it's because they get derailed. And they don't mean to get derailed, but they do get derailed. And then it's like they have nowhere to go. They don't know how to start. They don't know what to do. And they just get frustrated with everything going on in their life. And I think that's really what happens. And so I want to tell you that making a choice to have a promise in your life is so very powerful. So very powerful. Okay. I mean, it is so very powerful that you can actually make a huge, huge difference. And you're going to wonder why. But I'm going to tell you something. It's not about the why. It's about the feeling you get. See, the feeling is going to compel you to take those steps that you didn't even think were possible. You didn't even know what steps you were going to take. But the feeling just pushes us over that mountain. All right, so there are differences between motivation among certain individuals because of certain factors like genetics, personality, and even past experiences. So some genetics might keep people locked in a box. Some personalities might keep people not only in a box, might keep them in another universe. And I want to tell you, your past does not indicate the future. So many people think whatever happened in the past is what's going to happen in the future. Your past does not indicate your future. So you can change your future by that one phrase. Your past does not equal your future. Let me say that again. Your past does not equal your future. 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 That is very, very key, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it is so, so key. All right. When we talk about our promise settings, right, there are two types of motivation. There is intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. So those are very important things for us. Okay, intrinsic and extrinsic. So what is an example of intrinsic motivation? So the best way to describe this, extrinsic motivation, examples would be things, extrinsic is things outside you. Okay. Let's take example. Maybe you get a bonus. That's extrinsic. Okay. Maybe there's a reward system. Maybe there's a compensation. Maybe there's praise, promotion, competition. These are all extrinsic. Conflict avoidance, recognition, relation. Okay. Then what, John, is an intrinsic motivation example? So pleasure in a sports activity, you're getting it inside. Pursuit of knowledge, volunteering for a cause, testing yourself, reaching a fulfillment or a self-actualization in your life, starting to construct a legacy, increasing feeling of self-worth, and the need to be productive. That's a lot, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? So another one to understand with intrinsic motivators are the autonomy. I control. It's important for people to feel like they have control. Okay, autonomy. Mastery. I improve, I get better. What's my purpose in life? What's my progress? And what's my social interaction? What is it every day that makes me get out of bed? Is it something I feel? Is it internal, intrinsic, or extrinsic? Some people it's both. Some people it's that feeling. Some people it's those material possessions. But I want to tell you that it should not just be extrinsic. We have to always go deep into our core and know what our purpose is. So many people I see have these great lavish things externally, extrinsic, but they don't really have an intrinsic thread to their name. Now, I'm not criticizing, it's just that everything they've done will be like a wasteful feeling, as they're not able to connect it back to something that gives them value. We might say, gee, he built $1 million, multi-million dollar house. That's great. Yes, it's great. But what was it that made you do the house? Was it the feeling you're going to get when you were living inside? Was it the feeling that your friends were going to get? What was the reason that you built that house or that mansion? What was the reason? Tell me. And when you know what that reason is, you'll be able to attract more things even bigger than that house or that mansion. It's just that other people paint a picture that we have to look at, what's on the other side of the fence. But sometimes the other side of the fence is not going to compel us anywhere. It's not. It's just going to have us on the fence. And we're going to become frustrated because we're going to be kind of chasing ourselves in our own little endless hamster wheel, where we're running and running and running and running and running and running and running, running, and we think we're getting motivated, right? We get tired. We fall down. We start again, run. And again, we think we've achieved something. Maybe we have, but because we're not able to connect it to an insight or an emotion or something intrinsically, it oftentimes loses value. It loses value. Now, that's something that's very, very strange, but I'm here to tell you that it's very, very possible. So when you understand that losing value is a very important part of your life, you'll realize what intrinsic motivation means. That's right, I said intrinsic. Does that mean extrinsic motivation is bad? No. People ask me, John, is intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation better? Well, I don't want to say one is better, but intrinsic motivation comes with a higher level of respect. Okay, higher extrinsic motivation will give somebody, let's say, feelings of loneliness or depression. I'm not saying you can't have these things. All I'm saying is that you've got to be in alignment. So when you get them, you're getting them because of an intrinsic reason. And then the extrinsic is you're getting anything that's great. But you're not building it because of that reason. Okay? You're not building it for that reason. You're not building it for that reason. I'll tell you that this is something that a lot of people wrestle with. Intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. But when you get this right, it's like a hidden gem. And so when we think about why we want to do something, like maybe we want to help a friend or a neighbor, are we doing it because of what we're going to get in return? That would be extrinsic. Intrinsic means we're doing it because we want to feel good. Okay, that's intrinsic. But so many people I know are always doing something for what they're gonna get, right? Can't we do something for how we're gonna feel? When we dig deep into ourselves about how we're gonna feel, our life changes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, your podcast host and podcast coach. It's always a privilege, a pleasure, an honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel, comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, associates, share this out with everyone on social media. Go to, yes, the link that says help keep our content free, and make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, a scrumptious bowl of desserts. And either way, we're going to be grateful. Those pennies and dollars, we'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you to have a killer life. That's going to give you intrinsic, extrinsic, but most importantly, it's going to make you feel good. When we feel, we manifest. When we feel, we manifest. I think that's like amazing. Okay. I think that is really, really amazing. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Start to think about purpose, and your life will gain an entirely new perspective that'll give you more passion to seek the promises you want in life. Have yourself an amazing night, everyone. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Be well, everyone.